Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Is it still morning
Yeah.
or afternoon?
Still morning.
Anyway, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Evidence and Marco Muzielos here. So today, this will be our how could I put it? This will be our video about how we met, and also about our first couple of months of us being in a relationship. So I'm gonna hand over to my beautiful, charming wife.
It's making me to blush, guys. Anyway, so I'm just gonna say a version of how we met. Like stories, like when a lady tell a story and a guy tell a story, it's like so different. So yeah. Well, I had just started working and moved to a new town. So I mean, I grew up in Mpumalanga province, and then I studied 6 years in Western Cape. And from then I moved to KZN. Quite a change, right? So I moved to a small town, didn't know anyone. So actually, Marco's friend introduced me to like a group of young people. It was mainly guys. So I was like the only female there, or the only young female, because our leaders, they were like a married couple, obviously. um they had kids, so they were like our leaders, they were old, they were not as young. So I was the only female there. So yeah. And so Marco's friend, his name is Nathan, so his car broke. So I mean, he asked Marco to give us a lift to this young adult gathering, which is more like a church Friday evening. So well, this shy guy came to pick me up. He was very gentle. He opened up like a door for me and stuff. I wasn't like checking him out. He was like very shy, like super, super shy guy. And obviously, I wasn't like looking for like a guy. I wasn't like planning to be in a relationship at that time. Obviously, I've been praying to meet like a very nice guy, and I even if had like a little bit of a list, obviously, not like really like, oh, he needs to be perfect, but obviously like
Now
a
your
good.
list. Now your list says there. Oh, he needs to have a six pack. He needs to be a millionaire, and
Come on.
etc. etc.
No, man. I mean, my list had like basic things, like he needs to be like God fearing, someone who's humble, someone who was tall. It was on my list. Crazy, I know. I know that's a silly list, but it was
And
there.
you got your third wish.
Yeah, my list was like also he needs to be tall, but I mean, yeah, it's not like a really important quality, but it was there. So yeah. Well, he always like picked me up, dropped me off and stuff like that. So yeah, it was quite nice. We like fellowship, play games there and all of that. And then obviously that's how he actually got my number, and I got his number, because I mean, he will say, okay, I'm on my way, because you like leave work and then to pick me up. So we had to like have each other's contacts. But then I noticed that this guy, like nowadays, is like busy chatting with me. He was like all chatty on like on WhatsApp. And I was like, okay, this guy, I think no. That's when I kind of like, does this guy like me or something? I'm like, okay, he's just being a nice guy. He was like a gentleman. And I thought he was like this super poor person, because the way he used to dress up, it was hilarious.
I like those shorts.
He was wearing these terrible shorts, guys, I promise you. And these baggy t-shirts, like ugly t-shirts, like t-shirts that you just want to use as pajamas or when you do gardening. He'll wear them like on a Saturday.
My t-shirts are fine.
So like I promise you, I mean, I decided to even buy him like a t-shirt, because I thought, oh, this guy, he picks me up to church and stuff like that. He's not like asking for any money for petrol. Only later to find out that this guy has a lot of nice clothes. But anyway, we are not there. Okay, that's not as nice, but anyway.
It's just an example.
Yeah. So this is like a very fancy t-shirt that he's wearing, comparing to the stuff that he was wearing when we actually met. So I mean, also his clothes. So I wasn't really checking him because this clothing was like terrible and everything. Ooh.
Drama queen.
Anyway, so and then yeah, we started like chatting, and because I was going to like a different church, like his friend's church. That's where I was going. But anyway, so they've invited me to try their church, and then he still offered to pick me up. Obviously, our leaders, they said they were gonna pick me up because they're basically
For convenience.
yes, because they're basically on their way to church. They pass my place, you know. So, but he still offered that he's gonna pick me up. So he picked me up, and then after church, he asked me if I wanted to do some groceries, because I mean I didn't have a car at that time. So we went to do some shopping at Pick n Pay, and you know, when I start being a little bit comfortable, I tend to be not like romantic touch, but I mean when we laugh, I like push you. That's how I am. I mean with my friends, you know, I like doing that, like push you and stuff like that. So I think I did that to him, but later when he explained, he said he thought I liked him, but it wasn't like that. It's just me, you know. I like when I'm laughing, I like push you and stuff like that. Okay, and then after that, oh yeah, I think this is my favorite part. I still kind of like suspected this guy likes me, blah blah blah. I think it was almost like a month later or something like that. So the guys were planning an outing to go to Spur, and I just received my results as well for my masters. So I actually passed my masters. So they thought, oh, they need to invite me because it's kind of like a celebration as well for my masters. So we went to Spur, and oh gosh, I love my ribs. Did I order ribs? I think I ordered my ribs.
Yes, you did order
I
ribs.
ordered my ribs. So everyone
And
ordered.
besides, Spurs is an amazing restaurant. They never disappoint.
Yeah. So everyone ordered almost like a cheap meal, if I can call it like that. I think my meal was the most expensive, and obviously I was planning to pay for myself. And then when the guys were busy, I think they were giving Marco like cash, and then he paid with his card. They were busy calculating.
Because when there's a big group, you spend an eternity calculating, and then every person has to obviously contribute their 10% to the tip. I mean, obviously you gotta tip the waiter. I mean, they work long hours. They serve the food nicely.
I really like that about him. I mean, I don't always stick to that 10%. You know, I just decide to give whatever that I have. So I really admire that about him. Anyway, so I'm like busy. I'm like, I don't have cash. I mean, how do I pay you? Because I had my card. And he said, no, I'll cover that. Like, I tell you, it's not the first time a guy paid for my meal. It's not the first time, because I have a lot of guy friends. He knows. I mean, I have a lot of guy friends. So a lot of guys have paid for me before, but as soon as he said that, something within me, like, I don't know, it's like a heat. It just rushed everywhere into my hair. I kind of like started sweating. I was like, okay, what's happening? Like, what's really happening, guys? Like, oh my gosh. And I felt like everyone could see that I'm starting to sweat, you know. And I was sitting there with my, like, I kind of like felt some sweaty being on my pants, like sweaty pants. I was like, oh, these guys are just gonna like notice like how, like, what's really happening. Okay, anyway, he paid for me and all of that. And ever since that moment, and then obviously had to drive me home, and the other guys that he gave lift to, I kind of like felt very close to him, like very close to him, and I couldn't really understand what's happening. I'm like, okay, what's happening? All right, we passed by the waterfall. We took some pictures, some selfies. I love pictures anyway. And then obviously, then he dropped me off at my place. Okay, after he dropped me off my place, I was like, okay, all that thing, I don't tell anyone. I felt like the way I felt, it was my secret. I never told anyone. And then days went by, we chatted and stuff like that, and he's like, can you be my girlfriend? Oh my gosh. Oh, I was speaking to my friend, like, I kind of like told the enter that there's this guy, I think he likes me, blah blah
And
blah.
I thought I made the biggest mistake of my life. As soon as I saw her read that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get hammered.
Anyway, let me finish my story. You also say his story. Anyway, I just
When I get the time to have my story.
you will. Okay, I'm almost done, guys. I can talk a lot. Okay. Let me make haste. Okay, I just threw my phone in the bed and I ran outside. I'm like, oh my gosh, did he just ask me to be his girlfriend? I mean, like, how? Like, really? And then I thought I'm just gonna reject this guy because I'm not ready to be in a relationship. Okay, I just came out from an abusive relationship. It's been like, I think it was almost like 9 months.
7 to 9.
7 to 9 months. I'm like, I'm not gonna be in a relationship. I need my time, eh? Anyway, so I invited him over. Obviously, like, okay, I was staying in a two bedroom. What can I say?
It was a
flat.
it was a 1 bedroom granny flat.
Yes, like a granny flat. So when
That's
you
built into the main house.
yeah, so when you go inside, there's like a very nice kitchen, and I had like 2 fancy couches and stuff like that. So I invited him there. So obviously, so that we can chat and stuff like that, so that I can reject him. And we prayed that day. I remember we prayed and we watched a movie called Solomon and stuff like that. So my
Solomon, it was Samson.
oh, Samson. Psh. Okay. Anyway, that was my plan to reject him. But then after we chatted, we prayed and stuff, and somehow he cried and blah blah blah. I think that was so cute and everything. And somehow I just felt at peace. My plan was to reject him, but he left. We hugged and he left. I never rejected him or anything. That's how we kind of like started dating. I don't know if maybe we never like prepared for the speech and stuff like that. So I don't know what he has to say, but that's what I remember.
All right, so this is my side of the story. Finally, I get some time to talk because this one can be so talkative. Oh my gosh, so I can to be honest, she gets to a point where I just zone out. So anyway, let me start. So it just started that I just get a text from my friend Nathan that to say that if I can pick him up because his car was due for a service, and also there was a lady called Evidence, and he also offered. He also asked me if sorry my nose if I can also pick her up as well. So I said that's fine. Now I don't know where she lived, but Nathan will give me directions. And actually, before I continue, she actually when she went to Howard, she was looking for a fellowship, so she went to Howard Community Church, and that was when Nathan introduced himself to her, and then he said, listen, do you want to join us for a every week Friday night Bible study? So a young adults Bible study. So she agreed. So anyway, back to the story. So I picked her up. So I picked Nathan up. He showed me directions, and then we got to her place, and obviously, as all women do, you wait. As soon as you get to the gate, you wait for about 15 minutes because the manicure, the pedicure,
Wow.
and the makeup.
I don't really do makeup, guys, as you can see. Like, anyway.
So yes, and so obviously there was a time that my front door was not working. Hashtag procrastination. So yes, and so that's how we met. So we met inside my vehicle with
Passenger front door.
passenger front door.
Yeah, when you say your front door, it's almost like both your front doors like couldn't work. So it's the passenger front door.
Oh yes. So we got to Craig's, had awesome fellowship and Bible study, and then after that, her and I just started chatting, just about the basics, like what's your favorite color, what's your favorite color, A, B, and C. If I could put it that way, I'm just summarizing. So, and then after that, I think after a week, we saw each other again at Bible study. I can't remember. No, wait, we saw each other on the Sunday after church, and I don't know if I picked you up or Craig picked you up on the first Sunday. I think it was the youth leader that.
No, the first Sunday you picked me up because you offered. You said when Craig invited me, and then Craig said that they were gonna pick me up. You said no, I can give a lift. So yeah.
All right, I was just getting confirmation on the first Sunday.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, and then afterwards, we went to church. Went to church, and then asked her if there's any shopping, and then when we got chatted, and then she was like obviously doing the odd nudge, or maybe do this thing that females do on their hands. This thing. It's like a Thriller dance of Michael Jackson or something.
Okay, continue.
So anyway, and I thought maybe she really likes me, and then but anyway, so we started chatting, and quite frequently, and obviously we need each other's numbers, as she says. We need to keep in comms to say, okay, who's picking her up, or etc. etc. And the more we got chatted, the more I really liked her. But to be honest, I was in the same boat as her. I was not interested. That was back when I was 24, age 24, and I was happy. I was just literally happy to like remain single till the age of maybe 30 or 31. I was going to enjoy my bachelor life for many years.
And he had never dated. He never had like a girlfriend. So yeah.
She was my first official girlfriend and my last, and now we are married. So yes, and yes, when we went to Spur, and I didn't realize that after I paid for her, I didn't realize she was like kind of sweating, etc. I thought she just looked normal. Then we went to the waterfall, Howick Falls, and obviously there were some curio shops across the road.
Oh yeah.
Like a flea market. So and that's when she bought her first Howick souvenir. It was like a wooden mask.
Oh yeah, I mean like I don't know where it's at.
Somewhere hidden there. So, and then I dropped her home, and then to be honest, when we chatted a bit more on WhatsApp, and then eventually my heart really felt, I really started to fall for her, and to be honest, before I asked her, can we start dating, I really seeked God's kingdom first, and I really prayed for if it's God's will, and then I texted her, can we start dating, and either that was going to be a good response, or it was probably the biggest mistake of my life. I said, all right, you stupid fool, you could have just you could have stuck to your bachelor life. And yes, we had our first, our first, how could I put it this way, meeting.
Yeah, it was
our
wasn't
first
it
social
great?
our first
Yeah.
social meeting, and then we watched Samson, and we chatted for a long time, about 2 hours or
Yeah,
so.
that was long, guys. And anyway, I think I forgot something. When he obviously I wanted him to give me a bit of time to pray as well when he asked me to be my
Yes, I
girlfriend.
do
So
remember
I
that now.
thought also it's giving me time to pray a bit. So that's why I said let's meet over the weekend. So I was kind of like praying a bit, seeking God. I'm like, okay. And I found a piece of paper of the things that I was praying for. I was like, okay, is this it or what? But I mean, when we're actually planning to meet, I kind of like thought I'm just going to reject him, but I ended up not doing so.
All right, and yes, we did chat a lot. We prayed a lot, and the reason why I cried a lot is because when I told her that I like her and I wanted and I like to us to start dating, if you're really keen for that, and the reason why I started crying is because uh, because of our different race, and I knew that there was this thing of labola, and what if her family rejects me or doesn't like me, and
He
the
was
re-
already thinking about marriage. You, this guy.
you're naughty. So anyway, and I said, it's just so unfair, and obviously, and I was just also thinking a bit of the history of South Africa with apartheid, etc. Like maybe there was this like racial tension, etc. So yeah, and that brought me to the point where I started crying, and then over time after that we just started dating. We started dating and calling each other baby, etc. It was like unexpected.
Yeah.
It almost like this was God's plan. I mean, God's plan is like unexpected or unintentional. Like he reveals plans that we don't expect or we don't feel.
Yeah.
And
Because I never really said, yes, I can be your girlfriend. As I said, my plan was to reject him. I didn't. We chatted, blah, blah, blah. He left. We just kind of like connected, started talking some more, and always like picking me up to church, wait by the gate, I'm outside, blah, 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 and all of that. Yeah.
and to be honest, guys, like before we met, I was in a very desperate time in a situation of my life. Like my mom had serious psychological issues, and it was also affecting my dad a lot. I mean, my dad was like so sad and depressed, and I was being desperate as well. And to be honest, to be honest, while my mom was in hospital, my mom prayed for me that if God willing, that the Lord sends a girl into my life, and He did. He sent the most all the way from another side of the country just to see me, and He did. He sent the most beautiful girl in the world.
Yeah. So I'm blushing, guys. Okay. Let's not get into that a lot. But anyway, guys, I think this is our story. We don't want to keep the video too long. So please do comment what kind of videos you would like us to talk about. I know a few of our friends, like really, we were just so chilled. There's like, okay, guys, we are waiting for like a YouTube channel for you guys. We really want to hear more about young married couples, South African young married couples, because we know like we see a lot of them in YouTube, like from American people. Just want to also see people that they actually know. A lot of people have been following some of my footsteps, so I think it's good that we talk more about perhaps some of the challenges that we met as we started dating, or I mean, like, yeah, anything that you would like us to talk about, please do comment below and we'll try to talk more about it. And I mean, as I said, we didn't really rehearse this. I like something to be more organic, so yeah. Anything?
So the one thing I got to share is that doesn't matter who you are or what skin color you are. I mean, love is unconditional. Love conquers all. But the best part about our relationship is that we both serve the same Lord.
Yeah.
We both put Him first. That's the most important part. So because literally, like, it's so vital that you come into a relationship with Jesus Christ. And for those bachelors and bachelorettes, you know, serve. Find it in your heart to serve Christ, and maybe first before you get into a relationship, so you can encourage them. So this is us, and as evidence says, we'll read the comments when we can, and yes, like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell for the latest videos, and please do subscribe. Otherwise, we'll send some looters to loot your place.
Well, guys, you've heard. So, bye.
Peace out, guys.